Everyone, my name is Deborah Senita. So today I'll be taking us on how to create a virtual machine for a project called Ensign Success Student Success Center. So we have already created a VM using AWS Lab. So we'll just make proof of all the things we've done so far. So with that, we'll be making use of PowerShell. And the first thing we did, or I did, was to find out the information of my virtual machines. That I did using the aid of this command prompt. Hold up. So the command prompt we used was get computer info. So now this is the result. It helps us understand that I'm running a Windows Server 2025 data center. So, and then I went further to get the information of my ADD domain using this command here, and you find out that my DNS root is ensignsuccess.com. My NetBIOS name is Ensign Success. Then after that, we went further to get the Windows features, AD domain service, to check if they have been installed with domain name server and a DHCP. So as you can see, with this code I was able to get that my AD domain service installed, my DHCP server, my DHCP is available, and my DNS is installed. I also went further to check if I have really created the organizational unit, and as you can see here, we have domain controllers with their distinguished names. My domain controller name is Ensign Success, and that I have the following organizational units: student advisors and the center manager. They are all being created. Now we went further to list out the respective accounts, user accounts we have. So using this code, get AD user, filter it such that we have properties such as members of where they are located, and it was able to give me the following results. Now you see I have the following users in my domain controller and my domain server. The first user is first student advisor, second student advisor, third student advisor, fourth student advisor, fifth student advisor. You now have a backup domain administrator account. You have a center manager. So these are the accounts you can find in my domain server. So with that, we also want to find out which folder, the folders I created for these users, have they been shared. And I made use of this code, get -smb share where, and I made sure that it selected the name, the part, the description, and it is given in a format table auto size. So as you see, the folders I have here are 3. You have center manager, you have center manager sharing, and sharing student advisors. So these three folders have been shared. Sorry about. So after that, we went further to check their permissions and the access they've been given. So for the following folder, center manager, we see that it has been given the following access and it has been shared, and the same thing goes to sharing student advisor. But for a better explanation, I will go to File Explorer to look at it very well. So we click on File Explorer. Now I created a folder such that each subfolders are placed into it. So now let's go to our student advisor. Click right click then properties, go to sharing, advanced sharing. Now its permissions. So administrator, so we'll click on permissions, and then as you can see, these are the permissions that has been given to the following people. Like now, the first student advisor has permission to read, change. Center manager, the same thing. So we can also check this security. Now under security, center manager, so you see, for our first student advisor, he has been given a permission to only read and write on this any document found in this folder. For our center manager, the same thing. Second student, the same thing, and the rest of them. See, you can see the same thing. Now if we go to center manager folder, right click, properties, security. Now this folder was assigned to a center manager and a backup domain administrator, and they were given the access of reading and writing on this folder. So if we go to sharing, under sharing you check share. You want to see the names of the people this was shared to. So you see, to the center manager, he has this permission level is to read and write. To the backup domain administrator, the same thing goes for him. Oh, sorry that I clicked shared. With that done, you can see that the folder that was created has been shared. So back to our PowerShell. The next thing we did was to check who has access to this document using this code, this command. As you can see here, who has access to this folder. So now you see, to the center manager folder is just the center manager and the backup domain admin, and to the sharing student advisor, this is the part of this sharing, the student advisors folder. You have the center manager, the first, the second, all the users have access to it. And then with that done, hold up, we went further to check for security groups. Yes. Oh God. Sorry, rather for group policies using the above code, group policy results. Now you see, for this group policy and results, you have our configuration. OS configuration is primary domain controller. This is its site name, and that for the computer, that group policy was applied from our domain server with the domain name Ensign Success. And then with that, we still went further to also check for other policies that was being created for our domain controller. So you see that we have a wallpaper policy that was created. We have the domain policy created. Now for our password policy, we come further to see that we have a minimal password age of 1. A maximum password age of 90, minimum password length 12, length of history maintained as the previous length, its lockout duration 10 minutes, and that is that. So to prove that our desktop backup and homepage has been registered, I made use of this command prompt: requery hkcu control panel desktop wallpaper, and you see that it exists and this is it passed. So if you log into any user account now, this will be its default the wallpaper. Our Ensign College wallpaper would be the wallpaper, and each user can only read it but cannot change it. So with that, you can see that we've actually created this pattern, or shared our necessary documents. And then you could also check for our users. We can also check for our users using using Server Manager. So when we click on our Server Manager, let it come up. So we click on Tools. When we click on Tools, Active Directory users and computers, and then under that it comes up. You see under Student Advisors you have the following users, and under Central Manager we have the following this thing, user account as well. We have our backup domain administrator, and our fellow policies have been made. So go to Task Manager, right click on it, we run. Go to our forest, go to, so now this will prove that our wallpaper has been shared with everybody and that policy has been created. The same thing goes to where is it, our wallpaper policy. Hold up. So with all these things, we can see that we were able to create our server and carry out the following things on it, program it so that we're able to assign certain policies to certain users, and we were also able to make sure that they all have the following wallpaper to them. We created this wallpaper policy, and then thank you very much for having me.